Hey everybody, what's up? It is Unrested after a very long time, and I think a lot of people thought that I was taking a break again from making videos, but that's not quite the case. I was moving. I don't know if people caught that. I think I said it in quite a few videos, but maybe not enough, or maybe some people just don't really watch the whole group of videos, which I understand. There's like, what, 128 or something? Anyway, yes, I was moving, and you know, probably it didn't take a full 3 months. How many months was I gone? 2 months? I don't know. But preparation pretty much took about 2 months, and then moving included. And then I actually had to wait almost half a month, maybe even longer, I think almost 3 weeks, for internet to be connected at my new apartment. Internet doesn't really get connected as fast in Japan as it does in the States. Usually, I guess you can get it the next business day. Am I correct? Send me a message and flame me if I'm incorrect, but I think I remember that in the States we could get it the next business day. But here in Japan it's usually about a week, sometimes as long as 2 months. I've waited 2 months for internet to be connected before. It's ridiculous. But what can I say? It's a crowded country. It's busy. Okay, there's a lot of people waiting in line for a lot of stuff. Anyway, we're here in the new house. I shouldn't say house, I guess it's an apartment. We are no longer renting. I have bought this apartment. Bought. That means once I'm finished paying the mortgage, no more paying a monthly rent fee, mortgage, whatever you want to call it. I will own it. Of course, I will have to pay maintenance fees forever until I die. But it's great to actually say I own a piece of property in Japan. That is amazing. Something I definitely didn't think I would be doing 4 years ago when I moved here. I also didn't think I'd be getting married either, but I'm married and soon to have a kid, and owning my own house, which is pretty amazing. Anyway, I just wanted to stop in, give a quick update, let everybody know, hey, I'm okay. And for those of you who didn't catch it, I was moving. I wasn't taking a luxurious sabbatical away from you YouTubers. I was thinking about all of you, definitely. And I thought I'd just jump back in, give you an update, and also just let you know some manga I'm reading right now. Usually people are always asking me about manga and anime, so I thought, why not just show the viewers a couple of the mangas I'm into recently. So let's go ahead and show those. Okay, so our first one, I think, is one you can actually get in the States right now. It's been translated, 20th Century Boy. Those of you who don't know, this is the story of a group of friends who formed a club when they were very young, and it was kind of just, you know, the kind of club little kids form, make-believe stuff, making up villains, making up monsters that they would fight and stuff like that. And then later in life, one of the friends chooses to make all of it real. And it pretty much picks up then when they're adults, and how their club has now become something real, and all the monsters have become real, and they're fighting them. And there's quite a bit more to it than that. That was the most brief synopsis I could possibly make it. And it's a pretty interesting story. It gets into, you know, these characters as they age. I mean, quite a bit of time. I mean, starting from as young as like 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds, all the way up to like very, very old, very, I guess you would say, jaded characters that have come to really be hurt by society and have to fight back. So it gets pretty brutal, but it's kind of a fun, I mean, it's got kind of this little kid feel as far as like still having clubs and code names and monsters you fight as adults. Stuff you used to do as a little kid. Pretty interesting. I would highly suggest it. It was recently actually a series on TV here in Japan, and like I said, I'm pretty sure that one's been translated to English and you can get it into the States. So check that out, 20th Century Boy. Our next one is one I'm very fond of, Daring Gaikokujin. Okay, Daring wa Gaikokujin. I forgot the wa. Daring wa Gaikokujin, and this is a great story. There was recently a movie made about it, and that was absolutely horrible. The movie was atrocious, so I wouldn't suggest watching that. But it's pretty much a book about a Japanese woman who marries a foreigner, who lives in Japan, of course. He speaks fluent Japanese, and it talks about pretty much some of the problems people run into with a mixed marriage between Japanese and foreigners, and just how they overcome these struggles, and the things they enjoy, the things that piss them off. Another one, this is one of my all-time favorite manga. This is Shinya Shokudo. Shinya Shokudo means, I guess roughly translated, well, not roughly translated, Midnight Diner. Midnight Diner, yeah. Shinya, Midnight, Shokudo, like cafeteria, but diner's okay. Midnight Diner, and this is about an ex-Yakuza who tries to get out of the mafia and live a simple life by opening a very small diner in Tokyo that's only open from the hours of midnight till 7 a.m. And he does this, I guess, just to kind of still have a business, but to be pretty secretive. It's really small and really in a back street. And the people who come in are of course, you know, night people who work some, I would say, kind of sketchy night jobs. You know, he doesn't really get the best crowd. But because they work these kind of dark, gritty jobs, they come to his diner and tell their stories. And that's what the manga is about. Each of these customers coming in and telling these really dark stories about their jobs. And it follows all kinds of really sad, dark stories of just the underbelly of Tokyo. Really interesting stuff. I mean, you know, they're not real. They're obviously made up stories, but they're realistic in the sense that they definitely could happen. It's, you know, there's no superpowers, supernatural powers, you know, people shooting fireballs or anything like that, like, you know, fantasy anime. Very interesting and at times very heart-wrenching stories that will leave you with tears in your eyes, I assure you. And finally, our last one is Juyonsai, or just 14. You can call it 14. Juyonsai would mean 14 years old. And this is by one of my favorite artists and writers, Kazuo Umeizu. Okay, and he writes some really twisted stuff. I think before I showed you one of his mangas that I was reading where it was Left Hand Good, Right Hand of the Devil, and pretty much he writes just really dark and twisted stuff. He actually has a house. I don't remember exactly where his house is located, but it is only white and red stripes. I mean, the entire house, the outside, just looks like, you know, a Where's Waldo t-shirt. It's just all white and red stripes, and he actually, I remember he got in huge trouble with his neighborhood association for decorating his house in such a manner. And he's just a really crazy guy. I'll put his name down here, and you guys can check him out online. I mean, absolute nut, definitely very creative. 14 is a book about this character. I actually have a Chicken Joe. I don't know, can you see him okay here? Chicken Joe. I bought this little guy in Den Town, and you can see Juyonsai, okay? This is the main character. He is pretty much an aborted chicken fetus from an experimental corporation that had a lab working on making chicken clones in order to feed millions of people. And one of the experiments goes horribly wrong, and the chicken grows into a half chicken, half man creature who pretty much has a high IQ, a high intelligence, very conscious of the world around him. And as he begins to awaken to the world man's created, he becomes furious with how they've twisted nature and how they've experimented and ruined nature. And he begins to systematically destroy mankind. And he does it in really ingenious ways because he's of high level IQ. And it pretty much, I mean, it's pretty much the story of nature strikes back. Okay, man just screws with nature too much, and finally nature gets pissed off and strikes back. And this is pretty much, I mean, shown with this character. He is pretty much the representation of Mother Nature. And he single-handedly brings down humanity. So definitely check that one out. Very interesting, very strange read. You can find it online with scantillations. Did I say that right? Scantillations? Translated scantillations. But, you know, be careful with that stuff. They're starting to really crack down on it. My advice would be, if you can't find it, start to learn Japanese. Anyway, that's just a real quick update. Thought I'd let you guys know what I've been up to, that I moved, that I'm not on vacation, that I wasn't trying to hide from you guys. I'm not done making videos. I still have many more videos to make, a lot more lined up in the future. I want to show my new house here, but I want to wait for all the furniture to show up. Until then, I'll see you next time. I'm Unrested. This is JFAQ. Peace out.